One of the most difficult things to do in Counter-Strike 2 is to become consistent. Today, I'm going to do my best to give you the tips and tricks that you can use to actually start getting consistent inside of this game. This will help you rank up and just understand yourself more as a player and a person. This is extremely important, especially for those of you that are trying to push higher and higher and eventually get yourself on teams, travel the world, just like I've had the opportunity to do as well. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about it. The first thing that you need to understand in order to be able to get consistent is you need to understand your playstyle. It is one of the most important things when it comes to this, because let's look at what happens if we don't understand our playstyle. If we are the type of player that is joining a lobby and we're not consistently going towards the side of the map or consistently playing a certain role, we are going to have a lot of variables that we're probably not doing the best at controlling, right? So if I am a hardcore entry in one game, but then playing as a super passive Halls Lurk on the other game, well, yes, this might be what you have to do, right? But it's going to make you less consistent because you're not getting the same amount of reps in each role or position. So you can't control this every single time, but what I will say is do your best when possible to make this happen. When you're queuing with people, this is extremely easy, especially like on CT side. If you can be like, hey guys, I really want to play B. I want to work on my B anchoring. I want to work on my B play, so that you can sit here and, you know, practice your banana takes where you're smoking and mollying and flashing, or maybe your banana car retakes. You aren't going to get better if you're constantly having to shuffle yourself around on A site, B site, T side lurking. Now you're entering. It's just ultimately going to make you a worse player. And yes, you are going to learn the roles. That is important. And I think if you're a beginner player, there's value in playing all these different positions to try to understand who you are and what works best for you. But if you're really trying to, you know, develop your craft and push yourself, it pays off more to be very good at one of these roles or maybe one or two of these roles than trying to be good at all of them. Especially for those of you that are oppers, as much as you can op in your games, I would say go ahead and do it, because that is something that you need a lot of live reps on. So again, if you can get a queue going and they'll let you op a lot, awesome, that's great. So before I give you guys the rest of the tips, I have to give you a message from the sponsor of today's video.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code CoJo. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
All right guys, also another thing that will help you be more consistent in this game is understanding your weaknesses. So many of us are like, man, why am I so inconsistent, Kojo? You know, a lot of you come into my stream on twitch.tv/CoJoMo and you say that very thing. I can't be consistent at this game. One, don't worry. That's one of the most common things that even pros struggle from, right? If you ask a pro what their biggest problem in CS2 is, you can guarantee that a lot of them are going to say inconsistency. So why does this inconsistency happen inside of our game? A lot of the reason ultimately is because we are not developing our weaknesses. We're only focused on our strengths, right? So for me, I'm an opper, right? It could be really easy for me to be like, I don't need to work on my rifles, right? I don't need to work on rifling at all. I'm just going to get the op up and shoot and abuse it. But that's only going to go so far for games that I don't get the op up, right? What happens if we win pistol round, but then lose the next round, then win the next round, but lose, you know, where we go back and forth? I'm playing a whole game without an op now, and I'm going to feel really out of place in high elo, right? I'm at 3600. I'm going to feel really out of place in these games if I don't have the op then. So for me, it means, okay, cool. I need to work on my lowest skill, my floor. Maybe it's spray control. Maybe it's one tapping. Maybe it's all these different things. It's you peeking, jiggling, whatever you are weak at. If you can actually sit there and develop that skill, you are going to be doing yourself a huge favor. Again, we are so obsessed with what we're good at and training that, right? You're like, oh dude, I'm so good at one taps, right? And you just sit in the server for an hour just focusing on your one tapping. Well, cool, you're gonna be the best one tapper ever, but when you have to spray, you're gonna look like an absolute silver. So if you genuinely want to know why you're inconsistent, why you can't rank up and be better, it's because you're being exploited by your weaknesses. For me, you know, this even goes to map bias, right? So many of us are like, we love this map, we hate this map. I get on Ancient and I feel like I'm out of place. I don't like Ancient. I should be putting so much more time into that map, because again, that will help my floor increase. For me, it's the same thing. Inferno, I can come over here and I'll show you guys some nades real quick. I could come over here and throw like a full B-site molly exec, right? Boom, boom, boom. And I could throw both the smokes, right? So I can throw all these nades on this map, but if you get me on Ancient, it's like all that knowledge goes out the window, right? Obviously. So I can molly this, smoke everything, throw some good flashes. That doesn't matter, right? So you're just limiting yourself hardcore by focusing only on what you're good at. And again, don't feel bad though, because this is something that every single player struggles with inside of this game. So if you ever wondered why you're inconsistent in that way, that's the case. So if you look at the days where you're very consistent as well, a lot of it comes from your IRL preparations. You know, there is the case where we are on like 1 hour sleep and somehow we're still performing very well. But generally, guys, if you're not drinking water, if you're not getting sleep, if you're not going through your day-to-day routine before, for some of you it's school, for some of you it's work, for some of you like me, it's genuinely just like CS and, you know, maybe going to the gym, riding your bike, whatever it may be. But if you're not implementing these day-to-day routines into your schedule, if you're skipping out on it, I am so serious, you'll probably see a drop off in your performance. There is so much power in hydrating yourself, so much power in getting that sleep, so much power in interacting with people, being social at school, at work, that like genuinely people don't realize how impactful that can actually be for your time when you get onto this game. I find that when I don't do these things, I am unbelievably inconsistent, and that's not always bad. Sometimes, like I said, I do pop off, but generally I'm not building a good basis of stability for me. So genuinely, like, something that you should be looking at is how can I be productive outside of the game, and how can I do something with my life instead of just getting on CS, playing 16 hours, sleeping, getting on CS. You know, be part of something bigger, implement some good real life habits, and it genuinely will do a lot for you. So hopefully you guys learned something from this video. I want to shout out every single one of my members. I'm going to link you guys down in the comments of this video. If you want to support this channel, become a member. I've got two options. One is very inexpensive and one is for the ultimate chads out there. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you want to support for free, join the Discord, join my Facebook club, check out everything in the description down below. We're just shouting out everything. And stay tuned for the next video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.